Good day, everybody, and welcome back to the flight deck. We are here in Montpelier, Vermont, which is the capital of Vermont. I don't know why my overlay just kicked off, so let me restart that. So we have that up and running. Today we are flying the Boeing 247D down to the capital of Rhode Island, which is Providence. The airport's actually in a little place called Warwick, so we are going to be heading there, and should be about an hour's flight. As you can see, the weather is not the greatest, but it should clear up as we head down towards the coast. So all things considered, it should get better as we go. There, I got the overlay back up and running, and it is showing there. So we'll quickly grab the weather before we hop into the cockpit here. I'll get an update. It's got some rain and fog in the area. We're going to kind of go up to about 5,000 feet, and then we'll head southwards towards the Atlantic coast, and we should be okay down in Rhode Island. Weather there is showing just a few cloud at 6,500, broken at 30,000. And a little bit windier down there, 16 gusting 23, should make for an interesting landing. So looks like Kevin is going to be flying along with us, and I think Nick's in the chat, so let's hop on board and we can start getting the aircraft set up and ready to go. Alright, so as you can see, we're taking 3 passengers with us. Fuel and oil's all set, so we'll get the crew out there doing their thing and getting everybody in and loaded. So while they're doing that, start getting the aircraft ready to go. So parking brakes are currently on. I'm going to get rid of the stick here. We're just going to make sure our levers are all working, throttles are set, props are set, and mags are set as well. We are going to open the oil cooler flaps, make sure that they are open for engine start, which is what we're going to need. We'll come over to here and do a fuel quantity check. And fuel is looking good. And they're removing the baggage cart now. So should be good there. There's our left main. And we can do our right main. And then we have our right auxiliary tank. We can come over and check that as well. And the auxiliary tank is full. So we are good there. We're going to make sure our fuel draw is set for both engines, and we're going to be starting off on the left tank. It looks like bags are all on board and everything else is set with the doors closed. Kevin sounds like he's up and running, which is good. So we are almost ready. We're going to remove the wheel chocks. As mentioned, the parking brake is currently on, so we're good there. So to start up the aircraft, we're first going to come in here, make sure our switch here is pushed all the way in. That is our main power cutoff. We're going to come over to our main valve, make sure it's on. We're going to switch over to the left engine. We're going to start the left engine first. That will be for the prime. So for the left engine, the mixture is going to go fully forward, and the propeller is going to crack about an inch. We're going to make sure our mag switch is fully in, and we're going to turn, I don't know why these were all off, should have been set to off where it should have been, or they were on. But that's all set. So down here to the wobble pump, we're going to bring up some fuel pressure. Fuel pressure's up there. Make sure she's in. Prime the engine. Give it about 4 shots. And then lock it in place. It goes that way. And we are pretty much ready to start. So we're going to come over here to our start page. We're going to tell them to wind up the flywheel. We got jacks going to go out. It's going to bring the ladder over. Hook it up. Put the crank in, there's the ladder, and he's going to start cranking away. There he goes. While he's doing that, pump on the fuel here. We'll do the mesh. She did not start. Let's get some lights on in here. Not sure if they are on or off. It looks like up is on, so there we go. Not sure why we weren't getting any indication there. That's on. Radio power, that's fine. Should be seeing fuel pressure. Tanks are set. Just taking a look. It's been a little while. Try to remember. Just want to make sure I got this the right way. Push on, pull off. Pull, yeah, everything goes off. That's on. That's set to both. We should be good for engine start. Bring this out again. Give it another try. All right, so what am I forgetting? Fuel is set to both. Left tank is on. Mags are on. Power is on. See the compass light? Oh, there we go. Not sure why I'm now getting the fuel pumping up. Try this again. There we go. All right, we'll let that warm up. And while that warms up, we'll get the second engine ready to go. So we're going to go mixture fully forward, crack the throttle. We'll come over to the other side here, and we'll take this to the right side, and we will prime the engine. There we go. Oh, you can hear it? Yeah. And we'll lock that in place. Give it a few wobbles. There we go. And we'll get them over to crank up on the other side. Let's see if we can get engine number 2 up and running. There we go.
Nav start traffic record 1, I think we're radio check.
Loud and clear.
by 5.
Excellent. So the radios are working. Not sure what kind of radios this would have had. Oh, it was like a crystal radio set. Let's get the pressure up and start her up. Nope. Hold her down this time. Oh. Let's try this one more time. Should have remembered I shut the mags off. There we go. So both engines are now up and running. You can hear them thumping away there. Given how incomplete the modeling is on this aircraft, I do like the engine sounds. They do sound pretty good. We may be switching aircraft for the series. I'm going to do a little bit of testing on something later today, and we'll see how that works out. But we're going to bring the engines up to 1,000 RPM. Now that they've been running for a little bit. There we go. Gyro pumps are coming on. You can see the gyro gauges are aligning. We can turn on now our nav instrument lights and our pitot heat. We'll get that on as well. And we're going to set our baro, so we want 3007. So here's our altimeter. This is over in, it says inches of mercury, but it's not what it says. It's actually in hectopascal, so we'll set it that way. So there was an airport elevation is set, and I'm going to confirm that off the chart, which says our airport elevation is 1166, so that's pretty good. So given the winds are currently out of 320, we're going to taxi down to runway 35, and we'll be taking off to the north. We're going to make a right-hand turn, I believe. Let me just check the terrain. Yes, we're going to make a right-hand turn over the town of Montpelier and Barrie, and then fly southwards to our destination. Again, climbing to approximately 5,000 feet. It's always a little bit tricky in this thing to manage that. So we'll get our landing lights on. And we are looking good. We're going to bring our propellers fully forward now. Let them go into fine pitch. So manual braking. And we will release the brakes. Start our taxi. Just ignore the people down there getting mowed over. Montpelier traffic, Caribou 103, taxiing to runway 35. Who's this? Let me turn on the name tags. We'll try not to hit them. Kind of quiet, Kevin, there, Kevin, but I did kind of hear it. Then again, I'm out here with these big engines thumping away. Ah, this is Nick. Hey, Nick. Good to see you joining us today. All right. So we're going to run down to 3.5. We'll do our engine run-ups, and then we will get ready to go. A little bit more power there, and Nick, I've added you into the voice channel on the Discord that we're using, so if you want to come over and join us there, you're more than welcome. A little bit fast. Normally we'd spin around and do the run-ups into the wind, so make sure we get as much air over the engines as possible, but there's no run-up area here, so we're just going to do this manually. Alright, so put the brakes on. And we're going to bring the engines up to about 1800 RPM. So we're going to cycle the props. We'll cycle the left prop. Interesting that nothing's happening. We should be hearing a decrease in the RPMs. Again, that's the problem with this model. It was never finished, and the company's kind of vanished. So it's hard to do anything with it. One reason I'm looking at switching aircraft for the next flight. But we're pretty much ready to go. Montpelier area traffic, Caribou 103, taking position runway 35. Brakes will come off. Climb up to at least 2,000 feet before we begin our turn, just to make sure we get enough clearance. There we go. So we are now lined up. So lights are set. There's no flaps on this airplane. Everything is good. Cowl flaps are fully open.
That's traffic American 1, I think it's holding assurance to 3-5 at Alpha. We're waiting for the threat traffic.
Alright. And we are good to go. Props fully forward, mixers fully forward. Powering up. Bringing her up just below the red line. This tail's coming up. She does handle nicely on the roll. I will give her that. Airspeed's alive. And we are up positive rate. Gear coming up. Gear is up, so we'll bring the RPMs back to about 2,200. Keep the climb going. back slightly.
So traffic back up when Indigo is taking position runway 35 departure to the south.
Looking for about 2,000 feet. And as I said, we're going for about 5, keeping that airspeed up. 2,000 feet, so we're now going to turn to about a 170 heading. Yeah, not a lot to see out there. A lot of rain. Just very faintly make out the ground. There's 3,000 feet. Then about 115, 120. Turn. Get bounced around a little bit here in the weather. We're about 150 degrees. 3,500 feet. There's about 170, so we're going to come wings level. And this is going to put us on track to cross over the town of Lebanon and Hartford. Should be good. There's 4,500 coming up. And as mentioned, we're going to try to level around 5. Nick, you got a live mic there. Just so you know. So there's 5,000 feet coming up. I'm going to try to get the nose down. Tendency to roll slightly to the right. That's fine. There's 5,000, so we're going to bring the props back to about 1,800 or 1,850, and the power back to right about there on the line. Kind of on course. Do a little bit of correcting as we go. Come down now. We're going to bring the oil cooler flaps to about, let's do that one first, about halfway. Hopefully that'll help moderate the oil temperature. Bring the mixture now back to about 50% or 60%. There we go. So we're going to come up and turn on the radio. See if we can pick anything up. We're still climbing. torpedo heats are on, which is all the anti-ice we have. So we're really flying by instruments here, watching our vertical speed, our gyro for our pitch and roll. Just making sure everything is going along the way it should. Close that valve off. And again, we're flying off the left tank at the moment. Flight's only about an hour, so when we get down to our destination, we'll switch over to the right main. We're still climbing, so we're going to keep trimming. This is an interesting airplane to fly. Very early, 30s. But like I said, unfortunately, they did not complete the airplane. There's sounds missing. There's systems that are not working properly. I do have a mod or two in place to help with some of that stuff, but it's not 100% for a lot of it. So it is what it is. We'll look at going up a generation in twin-engine radial aircraft for the next flight. We're going to do some testing, see how it is, and if it works out well, we'll give it a shot next week. So we're leaving the capital of Vermont, and we're staying in New England. We're heading down to the capital of Rhode Island, which is Providence, but the airport is located in the town of Warwick, a couple miles to the south. So I think we're going to go right down on the coast for this one. So it should be good. As you see, we've got about 146 miles to go. Got a good ground speed though. So we'll trim it out. We're still climbing a little bit high, so I'm just going to keep edging in a little forward trim. Let her stabilize, check where she winds up, and then do it again. We're showing about 165 knots indicated airspeed, 171 on the ground. It's pretty good. Again, hoping we break out of these clouds soon. There's Nick over there in his Cessna 310. Pop out, we'll be able to see there's Kevin in his DC-3. He's switched over to that one. We'll leave our lights on given the weather conditions. So he's getting bounced around a little bit here in the cloud. Don't even have a directional gyro here. It's just the bouncy, floaty compass we're going by. My airspeed is about 165. I got a ground speed of 180. So as we're cruising along in the clouds, and again, not much out there to see, we're coming up for the town of Hartford, Connecticut. We're currently about 5, 10, 20 miles north of the town. All my flights here on the live streams for the channel are community flights. You're more than welcome to join in if you want to. Wednesday nights and Sunday nights are currently done on multiplayer, and gives you a chance to fly along as we're doing today. A little less formal rules for flight, and a little more forgiving as we go. Other flights, such as our airliner flights, are done on VATSIM. Of course, it's a little more regimented on that system, but we're here to help if you want to give it a shot and fly along with us. We're more than happy to have you come along. You can come over to the Discord and get all the information about what we're flying and when and where in the world we are, type of aircraft I'm flying, or the class of aircraft you should consider, especially in the airliners. There is some variety that you can do. And it's open to everybody, and Discord's got the information. You can find the link to the Discord in the descriptions. I will also tell it to put the link into the YouTube chat. And again, you're more than welcome to come along. Also, if you're having issues or need some help getting set up, thanks, Nick. Need some help getting set up, you're more than welcome to join in the discussions and post your questions or concerns, and hopefully we'll be able to give you a hand and help you get going with either the aircraft or the sim itself. You're more than welcome to join us over there. I try to stream 5 or 6 times a week when I'm available, so lots of flights, lots of different types of aircraft, and lots of different places around the world we're currently flying. Alright, still not seeing any clearing in the weather yet, but should come soon. We're about 10 miles north of Hartford, Connecticut now. Again, leaving those lights on just to make it a little bit easier for people to spot us. But yeah, this was travel back in the day. The door's closed. We can take a look behind if we want. It's very basic. The navigation system that they used back then, no GPS, no VORs, not even NDBs. It was based on a beam system, and you'd use the radio up here. Right now I'm tuning into radio stations, but you'd use it to tune in the beacon frequency and then fly along the beams that it gave out. So there was actually airways in the sky that were set up along the paths of the beams that you would fly. Very restrictive. I mean, I guess the beams went between the major towns and cities and that, but if you were going somewhere else outside of that, you were kind of on your own flying VFR. But it does work in the sim. I know Kevin and I tried it when it first came out, and you can do it. It's a lot to do with no autopilot, trying to handle all that, which is what Roger, my co-pilot, would have been doing. And trying to fly the airplane when you can't even do a simple wing leveler. So it's a bit much at times. Hence why I'm navigating with the charts and compasses and stuff and Navigraph. I mean, the sim is good enough that you can do VFR tracking and fly by the scenery. That's not an issue. Looks like that guy's flying out of Boston. So again, it's going to be interesting to see what updates come with the new avionics upgrade. I know the 747 and the 787 are going to be affected. And after doing the 13.5-hour flight down to the 13.5-hour flight from Baku to Miami, not having it capture the ILS was a little bit annoying, having to land manually. Yeah, it's still in beta though, right, Nick? Like I've seen 737NG driver, who I've got to watch his video, talks about it and how it's affecting it. So that'll be an interesting one to see. See if I can get a little bit of a hint on where these clouds are going to come out. Oh yeah, we got a big rainstorm over us. So we've got a couple big bands of rain. We're kind of between, we took off in a huge one, we're kind of between them, and then we've got another one to go through, and then we come out as we head down towards Providence as well, over Massachusetts. So we've got a little bit to go in this weather, I think, by the looks of it. Oh, okay, cool. So you're seeing huge improvements then, eh? Nice. Just did a check of the weather down in Rhode Island, and yeah, it's looking good. Just a few clouds at 7,500. So when we do finally break out of this, it should look good. And the sim is frozen. There we go. Come back. Thank you. And it looks like everybody has vanished. That's all right. Let's get back on course. Back. South of Hartford now. Work our way back to 5,000 feet. Getting a little bit of light coming through. There we are. It looks like we're in between those cloud layers now, the storm systems. See the other one ahead. We're going to have to punch through that as well. Turn off those landing lights now. Well, at least we can see where we're going now. About 5,500 feet. So destination airport, given the winds currently down there, which are at 170 at 12, looks like we're going to be landing on runway 16. Which is 6,000 feet, more than enough room for this thing. And that'll minimize the crosswind component. And then we're going to be be taxiing up to the transient ramp on the northeast end of the airport. Alright, so that's New London over that way. See those clouds there in the rain that we were in. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So that radio is getting a little distant there. I'm going to go to 780, so that's going to be band 4. And we'll see if we can go to about 780. And that's the, it'll get better as we fly towards it. So the airplane does come with a a U.S. map of all the AM radio stations, and you can tune them in. So that is pretty cool. So I was checking it. You can load it into a little nav map, and it shows the location and frequency of all the radio stations. It's about 100 miles to go. Halfway point, we'll flip over onto the right main tanks and drain those for the rest of the flight. Some nice hills coming up here. It's the Green Mountain area, Vermont, and Connecticut. It's very picturesque down here. There's the guys over there. And that's what we're flying. We also do views at the back here. Very nice. And that's what she looks like inside. Caribou Airways. Going back almost 90 years. We're going to be crossing into Massachusetts soon. Turn to go on the left side of that hill there. Kind of put us back on our course a little bit more accurately. temperatures. Temperatures are fine. I mentioned before, like the whole sound setup for the right engine startup is missing, and it's amazing that they would actually release something in this condition. But it looked like an interesting airplane, and it is fun. If you like hand flying, a little bit of a challenge. Again, there's no flaps, and it's very basic flying, but it is a lot of fun. Watching the climb rate. Do a fuel check. So we're starting to use our fuel. Still not bad. We were up about 120. We're down to 90 gallons. She's got two big radials on her, well, mid-sized radials on her. She's not doing too bad on the fuel burn. Headed out of these little rain cells here. So after this next band, it should clear up. If you ever get the chance to visit New England, up in the Vermont, Connecticut, New Hampshire area, it's absolutely amazing. Done some motorcycle riding down here. It's very nice. That mist down in the hills there. It's pretty cool. Still with us. Turn a little bit more to the left, get us back on course. We're now coming up to our track path. There we go. She is shifting a little bit in her center of gravity as we're burning fuel, so always having to make minute adjustments. Definitely a huge improvement over the train for travel. Kind of interesting to have been around when this was released as state-of-the-art air travel. Especially when you look at some of the post-World War I aircraft they were using, where it was still the pilot sitting in an open cockpit with 5 or 6 passengers in an enclosed cockpit, you know, big biplanes and stuff like that. I mean, this must have looked pretty cool. About halfway. We're going to come down. I'm not going to turn the lights on. We're going to come down here and we're going to grab the fuel and we're going to go to the right tank. And we're on the right main now. So we're starting with about 63 gallons in it. It wasn't 100% full. Okay, so we got the little town of Peterborough coming up. We're just about to fly over here at these crossroads. And then it looks like we're heading back into the clouds for a little bit. Just listening to the engines, make sure we don't lose them as we switch over on our fuel tanks. Again, if we go to the auxiliary tanks and do a fuel check, see we got a full 70 gallons in that one. So we actually carry more fuel on the right side of the aircraft than we do on the left side. Leave the fuel off on the right side for the remainder of the flight and landing. Head back into the cloud now. Luckily this band of storms isn't as wide as the other one, so we should get through it fairly quickly. Next major town and airport we're going to come up to is Fitchburg. It's down the road slightly. Yeah, that's true. I'd add some in its music for the period. It's a neat little thing they added to the aircraft. Melbourne, Australia, Nick. Might have to do a Australia tour. Speaking of which, new tour starting. next Tuesday, as long as nothing comes up, we're starting a tour of Canada. That was Kevin pointed that one out to me, and I took a look at it, and it's completely doable. So we're going to be starting a tour of Canada starting on Tuesday. I'll be flying the Phoenix A320 in retro Air Canada colors. It's going to be an Air Canada series, and it's going to some interesting places, so it should be good. I'm just going to stay to this side of this dark patch here until we get past it, and then we'll turn back slightly more to the right on course. It's kind of dark in there. Coming up for the rest of the week, we are flying today. We're not flying tomorrow. Thursday is my day off. Friday, we're back in Aurora. We're going to try to complete that Vancouver to Juneau flight that ended with that pressurization issue last Friday. Saturday, we are going to try again the St. Martin to Miami flight, which ended with the sim crashing on me. That stupid GPU overheating error thing, but nobody really knows why that pops up. But I made a couple of adjustments and gotten a little bit of help from Dark Fury with that, so hopefully that'll come off a lot better, and we'll get that in. And then on Sunday, we're back for another long 747 flight. We'll be flying from Miami, where we flew into last week, and we'll be heading to Bologna in Italy. Again, I know we're a few weeks behind of the actual series, but that's due to me being away, and we've got to catch up. So we'll be doing that, and then that rounds off the week for flights. Sunday's flight will be a split stream where I will stream the takeoff to cruise and then the comeback for the briefing and approach the landing into Bologna. It's good though, the one after that's nice and short. We're just flying from Italy to France. This is Fitchburg coming up. Rather substantial town. You can see here the airport just went behind the pillar here. Hey Dark, how you doing? So just to let you know, if you didn't notice, after we spoke about that error in the crash, the next day we did a 14-hour flight in the 747. So haven't had an issue since. I'm running that program and everything seems to be working fine now. You never know though. But it's going good. How are you doing today? So we're about 54 miles to go. And we're about 20 minutes or so out from the next Matar, but still showing winds coming out of the southeast. So we're going to stick with 16 for our landing. Sickness? Oh god, no. It's no good. check on the right fuel tank again. They're down to about 58 gallons. Alright, so as mentioned, it's a 6,000 foot runway. Airport elevation is 54 feet, so it is roughly 1,000 foot circuit height. Probably going to do a straight in. Once I spot the runway, we'll maneuver for a straight in on runway 16. A little bit of a turn going there, don't want that. So, as you can see, a little bit of sunshine. Weather is clearing up as we head towards the coast. There's Nick off in the distance there at 6,000 feet. She's looking good. The clouds seem to be clearing. Kevin over that side is DC3. Looks like we're finally out of that frontal system. Hey, J-Hog. How are you doing? Hope all is well with you. Need Wayne to jump in and everybody would be here. Oh, and Talia, of course. So a few little rain showers, but yeah, it's just clearing out ahead of us here. Sat in the garden having a drink. Oh, I hope you got some good weather. When I was over there last week, didn't have the same weather I had in July, but it was nice. Had some very nice days, and some nice sunshine in the afternoon, so it was pretty good. Even in the far north of Scotland, the weather wasn't too bad, in the teens, and the odd little bit of rain and mist and stuff, but no heavy annoying weather. So. It all went very well. Yeah, the weather is definitely nicely clearing now. Which is nice, because this is matching the imagery I was looking at on another weather service. Very nice. Yeah, I think I'm finally unpacked and got everything cleaned up and put away from the trip. Just took a few days. Starting to look around for my next trip. See where that takes me. Looks like Nick's flown over to the other side. Few days I'm probably going to order the new rudder pedals, Nick, the pendulum ones, same as you've got, the Thrustmaster pendulums. them delivered. Haven't been able to find a set locally in store, so we'll do that. And starting to look at the graphics cards and stuff. Well, I went to the computer place where I got my computer built, and they're doing renovations, so the whole service area where they do the computer builds and upgrades was torn apart. So I'm actually going to be going out there shortly after the flight here. I'm going to go pop in and see how it's looking, how their renovations are going. But probably looking at going up to a 4090 card plus a new SSD go for a 4 terabyte SSD. But that's not a rush. At the moment it's going to be the graphics card. We'll see what happens. Yeah, new pedals would definitely help. I got the Logitech ones here. They're kind of clunky, and I mean they're okay for the airliners and stuff, but some of the smaller airplanes, you kind of need the rudders a little bit more. A380 just came over top of you. Oh yeah, I guess they do fly into Manchester. I'm assuming it's only, is it Emirates would be the only one going in there? Alright. So I'm working my way slightly west of my path, so I'll be able to swing in and line up for 1-6 without having to do an overpass at the airport. Yeah, I figure, you know, if I'm gonna go, I might as well go big, spend the money, get it done. We'll see. I'm looking at going away again in July for a week. So what I might do is plan the upgrade for then. So I would probably take it in the day before. Oops. Take it in the day before I leave and have them do the upgrade, then I'll pick it up when I get back. Since I'm not going to be streaming for that week anyway. So we're 30 miles out. God, I haven't heard this song in a long time. We're currently over North Bridge. Getting bounced around a little bit. There's North Bridge down there. Coast is just off ahead. And we're 26 miles out. Oh, so it's departing. Ah, nice. Saw a few of them when I was down at Heathrow. Saw the Emirates 380 and the Qantas 380. town of Uxbridge. Flying over now. And that's Woonsocket, weird name. And then we've got Providence down here. The airport's on the other side of Providence. So just before we start getting ready for our arrival into Warwick, next live stream will be on Friday. We're going to attempt again the flight from Vancouver to Juneau. 1930 hours. We're flying the Boeing 737-700 in Aurora colors. And we'll be heading up, and in fact, we'll be joining our A320 that's sitting there that we flew down from Anchorage on Monday. So looks like everyone's gathering up in Juneau right now. Alright, so there's the guys there. There's Nick and Kevin's over that way. This is Woonsocket over here, then we got Cumberland there, and then we get into Providence down over this way. And the airport's pretty close to the waterfront. Fuel check here on the right side tanks. Down to about 45 gallons. We don't have to worry too much about switching over. There's the Pawtucket Airport right there. Start to see the inlets and bays, and the airport's going to be somewhere down around there. I'm just going to come up here. I'm going to turn the radio off for now as we start getting ready to head in. You've gone gallivanting? Yeah, you've kind of drifted off over there. Alright, we're at 5,000 feet. Everything is good. We're going to start to descend down a little bit, so I'm going to pull the power back. And start coming down. Again, we're going to want to get down to about 1,000 feet before we turn in. There's the airport lights, and we can just make them out there on the coast. So I'm going to keep them just kind of off the pillar there. I'm going to head down towards 1,000 feet. Providence area traffic, Caribou 103 leaving 5,000 feet, inbound for straight in final runway 16 at Warwick. Alright, so we'll get the landing lights on, everything else is good. Shout through the door, hey, make sure your seatbelts are on. start easing towards the airfield now. I believe those are my lead-in lights I can see. Just good, we're at 4,000 feet. Out. Props fully forward. Mixtures fully forward.
I think System 210 overhead Fisbo.
Nick. Oh, okay. See him down there. Thought he was further out than that. And Caribou 103, 7 miles out, straight in, final runway 16. 3,000 feet. Your speed's about 170. Start making our turnaround. Coming for 2,500. I think I'm going to the wrong airport, actually. I am going to the wrong airport. What am I looking at? Oh, that's North Kensington. Ah, okay. We're going to make the turnaround. There's the airport right there. Oh, I'm an idiot. And Warwick traffic, Caribou 103 is going to cross overhead the field at 1,000 feet for the mid-left downwind runway 16. Down to 1,000 feet.
I think you need some GPS.
I don't even have maps in this thing. Alright. There's 1,500 feet.
Traffic American 1 Tango. We're overhead at for leaving flight level. Correction. Leaving 5,000 foot for 1,000 inbound for the for runway 16. The flight airline is way too much. I was going to say the ILS 16.
Okay, well there's Nick coming in to land. There's me coming overhead the field.
Oh, no.
I'm lucky to have a VOR.
I don't even have a VOR. Caribou 103 is overhead the field to join the mid-left downwind for runway 16 at Warwick. Alright, we'll make the turn. Keep that speed up at about 120. Kevin. So again, we're going to park at the transient parking on the northeast end of the field. room. Kevin's a little bit further out. Warwick traffic, Caribou 103 turning base runway 16. Alright, so it's really down. Gear coming down.
I'm going to take over overhead. Paul, whatever it's called. We're 7 miles out. We're inbound over the field for the runway 16.
Keep the speed up at about 90. To 100. Turn. There's the airfield. There's the runway. Kevin coming inbound. Watching that speed. The good thing about it is you can feel her when she starts to get a little bit slow into the stall area. Alright, so flaps. No flaps. Props fully forward, mixers fully forward, gear down. Coming in for landing. Warwick area traffic, Skyway, or Caribou 103 is on final 16. I don't know why that was locked on that. Speed. Two reds, two whites. We're going to be facing a slight crosswind. Shouldn't be too bad. So two reds, two whites. Grab it down to landing. We're going to do a wheel landing. Engines to idle. And fly her down to the runway. A little bit of rudder, straighten her off. There she is. Forward on the nose. Hold her straight. Keep her off, tail off. Ease the tail down. There we go. Now that we're down, pin the tail. Put our brakes. And we will clear. Warwick area traffic, Caribou 103, clear runway 16 at Mike, taxiing Bravo to the ramp. So as we come in, we will kill the lights and open up the cowl flaps. Thanks, Jayhawk. Parker over by Nick there. A little bit of back pressure in. No, sorry guys, I'm not going over to you. So let's get the brakes on. Bring the engines up. That 1,000 RPM going.
Are you sure that's 1.6?
Should be. Oh wait, I'm 0.6. Close enough.
There's a 6 in there. It's good enough. That's funny. I thought I was bad. Well, I was going to the wrong airport, so at least he got to the right one. Alright, so 1,000 RPM has been running for a minute, pulling the oil up, splashing it around the engine, getting it ready, and helping to cool the engines and stabilize them. Everything is good. Cowl flaps are open. So, using the mixture to shut down the engines. There's the left engine. And the right engine. Alright, that little noise there at the end is a little unrealistic, but other than that, it sounds pretty good. Alright, so the engines are shut down. We can kill all the lights inside. And we can come down now. We will turn the mags off. Turn the mag power off. Radio is turned off. We're going to turn the main radio power switch off as well. Okay, go away. And with all that done, bring the prop levers back. So next time they start, they'll be good. We're going to turn the main power for the aircraft off. And everything is set. Hey, Jayhawk, thanks for dropping in. Have a good night. Enjoy your evening out there. And here we are down in Rhode Island as we carry on our trip around the U.S. capitals. Nick, thanks for flying and joining us. And here comes Kevin as well. So I'll leave you here. We'll be back on Friday.
Traffic American 180 is clear of not runway 16 at Charlie.
Aurora out of Vancouver, heading up to Juneau, Alaska. Hope you can join us then. See you all on the next one. Bye for now.